Hello and welcome everybody to day number 6. So please, I want to remind you guys too, if there's anything you would like me to talk about that's dear to you, or something, a tool of access that you already know, but maybe you would like a little different perspective on it or whatever, please write it in the Telegram chat. That's where we take all of that into consideration, and I would love to basically put anything that you would like to know in here in the next 31 days, one way or another. So one thing that I wanted to actually talk about today is our bodies a little bit in regards to getting sick, because we have, in at least in the Northern Hemisphere, the winter is coming, and a lot of times actually people do get the flu or COVID or whatever it might be that is coming around. And our bodies, well, I should back off just a second. So what I have noticed is that since I started Access, my very first thing with Access was running a lot of body processes. And I can highly, highly recommend, if you haven't done a 3-day body class, please go and please, start with those body processes and then find someone in your neighborhood that you can run them with. And Gary has no problem with you showing someone else how to do this, as long as you don't charge them for it, because that's what the 3-day body class is for and what the body process facilitators are for. But if you are living pretty much in an Access vacuum and you require someone to work on you, just teach somebody how to run these processes on you and then do it. And I have to say, when I first started, I really was a bit of a bodywork junkie, and I exchanged bodywork with somebody every single solitary time. And I have to say that in the first years before, actually my whole life up until I started with the Access tools, I've always been that child that would be sick all the time, that would get the flu all the time, that would have all these different things going on. And when I started running these body processes, things really started to change. At first, I got even sicker, and then I didn't get sick anymore. And now, me being sick is a rarity. I can't even really recall the last time that I had a flu or anything. I really cannot. So, and please, 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 this is one thing where a lot of people make the mistake that they say, oh, well, if I am becoming more conscious, I will never get sick again. Or if I get sick, I'm not conscious. Please, everywhere that you bought that as a way of basically judging yourself or putting yourself in this weird category, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Now, it is, it's day 5, not day 6. I'm sorry. I was a day ahead. Thank you. Thank you, Fabian. So basically, when let's just run this again. So everywhere you have gallumped consciousness and your health as the proof of consciousness together, will you now please destroy and uncreate all that? Times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Any decision that you have that if I am conscious, I will never get sick again, will you destroy and uncreate all that, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And also everything you have decided about, if I am sick, then I can't be conscious. Will you destroy and uncreate all that, please? Times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Our bodies can get sick for all sorts of reasons. Our bodies basically have an immune system, and we are being bombarded with things all the time that are around us. There's pretty much bacteria and viruses and all kinds of things all the way around us pretty much all the time. Now, why is it sometimes that a body gets sick, and why is it that sometimes a body doesn't get sick when that occurs? Well, a lot of times it has to do with the being and what point of view you have about things in that moment. So for example, if you're standing in the subway and people are sneezing at you, well, right now they're wearing masks, so it's a little bit different, but If you stand in the subway and people are sneezing at you, do you have the point of view of like, oh, I'm going to get sick? Well, if you have that point of view, then your body starts actually producing that. Because anytime that you have a point of view, you are changing something in your body. A healthy cell is spherical. And when we project at a healthy cell, anything, a judgment, a projection, an expectation, pretty much anything, that cell becomes slightly elliptical. And the first precursor to disease on a cellular level is the cell being elliptical. So everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So it's not about, oh, why did I get sick? Or what point of view have I taken to get sick? It's really more the acknowledgement of like, okay, cool. So something just created this in my body. What is this? What's going on here, body? What are you trying to communicate with me? And it could be that, hey, you know what? You idiot have a point of view. Get over your point of view and I'll be well. It could be that too, but we don't go there often. We always look at what outside of me made me sick. So everything that is times a gazillion, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So one question you can ask when that shows up too is, what am I sick of? That's a great question. And really just allow everything to come up. It might be, I'm sick of working. I'm sick of my everyday thing. I'm sick of blah, blah, blah. Whatever that is, and then POC and POD everything as it comes up. I'm sick of, I'm sick of, I'm sick of. What am I sick of? So everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So that's really one way that you can start to look at this whole thing a little bit in a different way. And please, again, so everywhere you have decided sickness equals wrongness, will you destroy and uncreate all that, please? Times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Or the other way around, everywhere you've decided being healthy equals being right, will you destroy and uncreate all that, please? Times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Yay, I'm healthy, now I got it right. So everything that is, we destroy and uncreate it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Now, one thing also, when you start to, I've had this so many times on airplanes, I would fly and then all of a sudden I would have this sense of getting sick. When you all of a sudden get that sense of like, I'm getting sick. And then I would just sit there and go, wait a minute. First of all, who does this belong to? Remember our tool from day one? Who does this belong to? And what is my body aware of? How many people on this plane are not well? You're sitting in a little box with a lot of people. And so what are you perceiving? That was always then, a lot of times that lightened things up. And then I would do something else. And I want to actually encourage you all to have this in your apothecary, in your pocket, in your awareness whenever something is going on. So just right now, just ask your body, what plant, what mineral, or what energy would be a contribution for functioning with even greater ease and even more health. Whew. And it doesn't matter how far away that plant grows or how far away those minerals are. Will you now please allow your body to receive from these plants, from those minerals, and pull everything into your body that it requires right now? Isn't it amazing how quickly the body actually changes and the molecules start to have a different sense about them? It's so amazing. I have used this so many times, and it really would just change whatever I was coming up against, whether I would have like a little sniffle or something. All of a sudden, I'd be like, oh, I can breathe again. So please, by no means use that ever again. I'm kidding, of course. Gary has said many times, look, you can go into the grocery store and just walk up and down the vitamin aisle and ask your body to pull everything out of those bottles that it requires, and just keep walking up and down the aisle until your body says, okay, I got everything I require. I really have to say, you don't even have to go to the grocery store. You can do it from the house. You don't have to go there to do that same exact exercise. It's just that we allow ourselves more of that magic when we're walking up and down the aisles, because then the logical brain can compute that. Oh yeah, I'm walking up and down the vitamin aisle. Of course, now I can pull those energies. I can't do that when I sit at home. The grocery store is way too far away from me. So everything that is times a gazillion, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyond. So what if you allowed your body to receive from the plants, the minerals, the vitamins, whatever it is, at all times? And wherever they come from, don't try to be logic about it. Don't try to figure it out. Just ask your body to have that all the time as required. But you may have to, at the beginning, you may have to do this exercise a few times and just really sit there or be with it. You don't have to sit down. You can do it while you walk or stand, but just be with that energy and allow these plants to contribute to you. So there was something else that had just passed through my brain and now it's gone, of course. So do you have any questions about that?
Yes.
Cool.
I'm sorry about my English. So can we ask our body to pull all day that vitamins and energy to give an order to our body?
To do what? Say that last part one more time. Oh, you're breaking up a little bit, Isilda. That's why it's not your English. Your English is great, but now you're actually frozen. So I'm not sure. Can you say that last part again, maybe? But you're frozen. Oh, there you are.
An order that pull all those. Maybe here? Yes.
Now
Okay.
we can hear you again. Yes.
Okay. Can I ask my body to pull all day long that vitamins and minerals for my body?
Well, you want to pull it as long as it needs it. So it may not be all day. It may be enough to receive just a little bit and your body is happy, or it may require it because it might be deficient in something. And so you just ask it to pull on it until it has enough of it.
Okay.
Okay. And the other thing is too, please do not use that as a substitute to actually orally taking something. Please also ask your body. Sometimes your body wants to actually ingest something. So ask for that too. So sometimes your body requires that and desires that. So don't assume that, well, Susie said we can pull that, and so now I don't take anything anymore. I just pull everything, and then you're coming up with some weird thing, and you're like, well, blah, blah, blah. So never come to conclusion about anything. I am just offering you another way to receive from plants and from the earth that doesn't require you going out and buying all these minerals and vitamins. And if your body wants to ingest them, please go and get them and take them.
Okay. Yes,
So
I understand that part.
cool.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. And I'm saying this to everybody because a lot of times people hear Gary talk about a tool and then they don't ask a question anymore and they just use something that Gary said. And for example, Gary, the three food sources in access are basically water, sugar, and salt. And so some people took that as an excuse to eat copious tons of sugar. But please only ingest what your body actually would like. Don't just go with something like that and be like, well, it's sugar, water, and salt, so I'm just going to eat sugar, water, and salt, and that's all I'm doing. Well, ask your body what it requires. Ask your body what it desires. And we will have also a bit more of a food conversation in another call. I just wanted to today bring in a little bit of this energy of where you really can tap into anything from around the world. And there are things like Bach flowers and homeopathic remedies, and those actually are based on the idea that the more diluted something is, the more it is a contribution, the more potent it is, which again, logically really makes no sense. But in homeopathy, if you take the remedy and you dilute it more and more and more and more, it becomes more and more potent. And so when you take that remedy, your body responds to that in a very strong way versus if it's not so diluted. Now, if you look at that with the food we're eating and everything, that's a pretty bold way of getting energy into our bodies. What if we were willing to really use more those subtle energies and feed our body with that? So when you're having the sense that you require something, but you can't get to it right now because you are sitting on an airplane or something, you might be willing to play more with it. But what if you were willing to play with it all the time and really allow your body to receive those energies as required from anywhere? Even if the plant that your body is asking for is around the world in some other country, can you still receive the energy from that? Can you still pull from that plant and allow that plant to contribute to your body? And everything that doesn't allow that, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So what else could you do for your body today? So what if today you took anywhere from a few minutes to an hour, if you can do that, if you can take a full hour for your body today, I don't know, can you? What if you allowed yourself to nurture your body today in some other way too? And what is that for you? What is it that your body loves? Does your body love to walk? Does your body love to take a bath? Does your body love to dance? Does your body love to jump? What does your body really enjoy? And would you be willing to do some of that today, even if it's just for a minute or 30 seconds? Whatever it is that you are willing to do today with your body. So and you mostly probably know what that is, but please, even with that, don't come to conclusion. What is it that your body enjoys? Maybe just do the 3-point exercise where you perceive those 3 things on your body and take a moment and ask your body, what would you like? What is enjoyable? Oh my God, it might be having sex. God forbid. That's not allowed. Everything that brought up, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So what is it that your body truly enjoys? It might be going horseback riding. It might be sitting under a tree. It might be going on a roller coaster. What does your body enjoy? So I would love for you to play with that today if you can. Cool. So what else? And do you guys have a question?
I think, yes, maybe Susie, I have seen the question of Joanna in the chat. I actually had the very same question about if you can do this with hormones, you know, like with the vitamins.
With hormones?
I mean, in the sense, if in my view, it would be that the question would be if you see a healthy body or what you think is a healthy body. That's a little bit tricky. Could you tell your body, look, maybe it's a case to take from that body, but I don't know if it's feasible. What is good for you also, or something like this, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, you can play with that. You can pull from another body, but why even use the reference of another body? No body is like your body. And so your body is its own entity, and your body has its own ways of dealing with things. And so if for example, if you would like to have more balance with your hormones, ask your body, what do you require for that? You know, and is it actually a problem? Always ask your body first before you come to conclusions, because a lot of people come to conclusions about, well, I must have hormonal imbalance because, well, is it true? Body truth, do you have hormonal imbalance? Yes, no. And then if the body says yes, okay, body, can we change it? And if so, how do we change it? So body, show me or lead me somewhere where I find whatever this is that will change this. And it might be that all of a sudden you read an article about something, or you hear something online, or you see something on social media, or whatever it might be. Or your body brings you to the grocery store and it brings you exactly to the aisle of something that you should be ingesting or just getting the energy from. And then just ask for that. So don't cut anything off. You know, it's basically allow your body to receive from anywhere and from anything. And so, and it could be from another person too. Of course, if another person has something that, you know, when I was talking about pulling energy from another person, it was more about a talent that you see somebody having, something that is impressive to you, like, whoa, I would like to be able to do that. Or, you know, body, can we learn this too? Body, can we do that? You know, where it's really more about a talent, not so much about the hormones. Because again, when you have something going on with your body, I would probably ask your body and then see what you can do to contribute to the change of that, rather than trying to mimic another body about that. But one thing actually that does work really well too, and that's why I was giving you guys also some exercises with the animals, is that if you're looking for some peace and calm, for example, for your body, then look at where you could get that from. And there might be a person that represents that to you, that has sort of that Zen-like, you know, sense about them, where you go, oh, I'd like to have some of that. So yeah, I would just probably, when it comes to like things like hormones, I would probably not try and pull that in from another body as much as I would see, well, what's required for me to have these hormones as well, or whatever, you know, and not even as well, but if I require them, body, where do we get them from? And then, yes, if that means pulling them from another person, by all means do, you know, if your body says pull them from this person, then go ahead. Don't let yourself be stopped by anything. I just wouldn't ask necessarily to duplicate another person's body for that. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Cool. Thank you for the question. And thank you for reminding me. I did read that and then I forgot about it. And that was a great question. So thank you, Fabienne, for that. Or was it Jeanette? I don't know who asked that question, but anyway, yeah. Go ahead. Is there somebody else with a question? I feel like you guys have something else you want to ask, but apparently. Yes, Johanna. Do you know how to unmute yourself? You can just click unmute. I can also. Oh, there you go. You got it.
Yeah. It's just my internet is a little fluctuating. Just to continue from that, Susie. I'm kind of away. I have two questions, but I know it's getting late now, so they can wait for another day. But just to put them in there, one thing is I seem to have mimicked a lot of my mom's, medical issues, hysterectomy, eye condition, something now, eyesight. And when I asked the hormonal thing, I remember doing a body process, the mimicry, and sometimes I have some hairs coming on my face, and my mom has that, and it's like it's a real awful issue, So that is one question that it can do some other day. And the other question, when you talked about somebody having a skill, I have trained in loads of different modalities, and I love the access, and I use the questions and the clearings really well, but I have an aversion to doing the bars, and I could cry now. So if you said to me, I'll give you €1,000, Joanna, if you run my bars, I would have to run, because I feel stupid that I can't learn it, and I've learned loads of different modalities, and I could do them like that.
Okay.
But I work intuitively, and I do like that, as in follow the body. But they're important questions for me over the 31 days, whenever.
Yeah, but so let's just work a little bit with this for a second. So Truth, what is your point of view about bars?
I can't do it. It's the first thing that just came now.
Everything that is, will you just try and uncreate it?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Let me ask you, this whole thing with the bars aversion, is that actually yours?
That's very interesting. No.
No. So who did you buy this from? Was there somebody when you first started with Access that had such a strong point of view that you somewhere bought that as real, or decided there was some truth to that, or?
That's so interesting. I never thought of it like that. Holy smoly. Oh my God.
Yeah, so everything that is, we just try and uncreate it, please, and return it all to sender. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Whew, okay, cool. There's a bit of energy on that. Okay, cool. Yes. So, okay. It's still blowing off some energy. So whatever also that person means to you, or whatever that is, and wherever you bought that as real and true because they have some kind of credence in your life or in your world, will you please destroy and uncreate all that? Times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And
there was also, if it's okay to come in.
Yeah.
When I did some exchanges with people, like I'm not a beginner, I've been working on stuff for a long, long time, but not always Access. And some, obviously I'm not going to name names, a very prominent person, like kind of made me wrong for the way I was doing the bars. And I think it really shut me.
Okay, cool. So everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So one thing that Gary always says, the bars are actually quite forgiving, so you can be like, an inch and a half away from the bar, and the bar will still be activated when you lightly touch the head. So that's the
Yeah.
good news. You know, you don't have to be in the exact spot. And
Yeah.
truthfully, everybody's head is different anyway. And so, you
But
know,
I knew that.
yeah,
I mean, I knew that from the years of doing other modalities, and
yeah,
you know, it's just like, yeah, it's just like a tax coming from everywhere that I couldn't do it.
right.
Or that's what I bought. That's what I
Okay,
bought.
cool. And so right now, just imagine running someone's bars right now. What's your sense now?
Yeah, there is somebody. Yeah, I mean, I would love to actually. I would love
Okay.
to. I feel,
Yay.
yeah, I feel I'm now receiving now, because it's like, oh no, I can't have bars, so I'm now receiving, and I really want to receive. Yeah.
Great. Well, how does it get better? So, maybe you are able to exchange bars today even. What would that take?
Yeah, or during the week at least. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank
Awesome.
you.
And then the thing about your mom and mimicry, yes, we'll talk a bit more about that. But what I would like also to ask is, how often have you had the biomimetic mimicry run on your body?
Not loads of times, but I did it on myself as well. But because you know, I know the points, you know, the
Yeah.
sacrum link and the occipital. Yeah, so I could run it more.
Yeah, and also, you know, Gary always talks 1+1 is way more potent than us ourselves. And to please run it yourself, of course, because if you have nobody around, it's better to do it than not. And if someone else does it for you, it really gets more potent. So highly recommend to do somebody running it on you. And Gary, with this particular process, recommends really to do it at least 20 or 30 times.
Okay, so the lady that taught me said she did it once, and that issue I spoke about cleared. But anyway, okay, so do it more. Okay.
Do it more, yes, because there is so much, you know. Isilda has her kids there. That's so cool. Hi, guys. Nice to see you. You know, it's definitely one of those where especially with biomimetic mimicry, we have taken on so much from our family, and a lot of times we also have been cursed by our family. Like, you know, our grandmothers, our mothers might say something like, wait till you're my age, then you also have hair growing out of your chin, or wait till you're my age and then your breasts are sagging, or, you know, whatever it might be that they cursed us with. And biomimetic mimicry takes care of that as well, because it takes away all of those things that we have decided that we have to do now because, you know, we've been cursed by them. So everything that is times a gazillion, we discern and create it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Cool. And thank you for your questions. They're brilliant, and I will definitely write the one down with the biomimetic mimicry, because we can talk about that more.
Great, thanks again.
Awesome. And I want to hear how your bars thing is going. Cool. Anything else, you guys? Cool. Then I guess I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Adiós.
Adiós. Adiós. Buenas noches.
Bye.
Bye.